You may have a very fast line follower that you've purposely designed your robot where the balance point is very close to the wheels. That means it's very agile and can turn quite quickly and very accurately. But the trouble that can cause is when you first start, if you go flat out straight away, he pops wheelies like that and then can't see the line. We're going to look at the problem by graphing the distance we've travelled on the x-axis and the speed at which we're travelling on the y-axis. Now normally when we're doing this, we have a maximum distance that we want to travel, that we want to stop by. And we also normally have a maximum speed that we want to travel. Now if we just turn the motors on straight up to maximum speed, you get that big sudden lurch from going 0 speed to going at maximum speed, and also when we want to stop, we go from maximum speed just to 0 speed. So what we're going to do, instead of jumping straight from 0 speed to maximum speed in no distance travel whatsoever, we're going to ramp our speed up, where the speed we're going is going to be proportional to the distance we've traveled. And as we travel further, we're going to get faster and faster till we hit our maximum speed, and then we're just going to hold consistently at that maximum speed. And we want to do exactly the same thing with stopping, just ramp down nicely. There's one small problem in what we've done, is the fact we're saying the speed we go is going to be proportional to the distance we've traveled. When we first start, we have traveled 0 distance, so our speed will be 0. If our speed is 0, we will never ever get any distance. So what we need to do is we need to add a minimum speed. We generally set that quite low, but we have a minimum speed in which we never go below. So what it means is when we first start up, we will jump from 0 to that very slow minimum speed, and then from that minimum speed, we will ramp up to maximum speed, cruise along at maximum speed, ramping back down to that minimum speed at our final maximum distance before stopping. We can break down this whole motion into 3 parts. We have a ramp up part, a constant speed part in the middle, and then a ramp down at the end. So we need to know when to finish each of these 3 stages and move on to the next. We'll look at ramp up first. In most cases, you'll just ramp up until you hit maximum speed, and then you'll go on into the constant speed section. But sometimes, if you don't have a very long distance to go, you may get over halfway through and still not have hit the max speed. At that point, you need to start ramping down, or you'll overshoot the distance you want to go. We will exit the constant speed part of the motion by working out what distance is required to ramp down, and when we are getting closer than that distance from our maximum distance, we will start the ramp down. And of course, we will finish the ramp down when we reach our maximum distance. Okay, let's look at some code. First of all, these are my 2 little subroutines just for the line following. That does the steering of the motor, and then that does actually reading the sensor and doing a proportional line steerer. So don't worry about those. We're mainly going to work about the motion control here. These 3 loops are the 3 stages. Now let's pull it apart a little bit and have a look what I got here. So this first stage here is my setup stage. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. In my setup stage, basically I set my minimum speed, I'm using 30, my maximum speed 110, because I find it line follows quite well like that. I've got a reasonably fast acceleration of 0.5 faster for every single tick, and I gave it a really big maximum distance, so to sort of do more than 1 full lap around my circuit. We can have a look at the halfway point. Is pretty easy. It's the max distance divided by 2, and then we have our ramp distance here, which is going to be the maximum speed minus the minimum speed divided by the acceleration. Make sure when you put them in your bits, you put them in this way around, that it's max minus minimum inside that one like that. All right. So that's setting up the variables. Now, the correction, setting the correction to 0, that's actually part of my line follower, so don't worry about that too much. Right. I set correction to 0. I start my encoder counting. That's just for my motor control. That starts the count on the motors. And then I start it moving at the minimum speed. Once I've got it moving at the minimum speed, we can have a look at the ramp up stage. So this loop here is the ramp up stage. You can see it's going to do it while the current speed, it's going to do it until the current speed is faster than maximum speed, or the encoder is larger than the halfway point. And then very simply, I'm just going to set my current speed to my acceleration multiplied by my encoder distance plus my minimum speed. And then while it's in that loop, I'm going to get it to follow the line, because while it's ramping up, I still need it to follow the line, right? So that's the ramp up loop. Look down here to the next loop. This loop here is the main loop. So we're just going to go around this. It's going to repeat until the encoder is smaller than the maximum distance minus the ramp distance, and then it's going to exit that loop. And of course, while it's going around that loop, it still follows the line. And then I have my very last loop here, which it repeats. It's going to repeat this loop until the encoder position has passed the maximum amount of distance. Right? And while it's doing that, it's going to also follow the line, and it's going to change the speed to what is going to be let's put it somewhere nice here. What's going to be the maximum distance minus the current distance, and then we're going to get that, and we're going to multiply it by the acceleration, and then we're going to add to that the minimum distance. All right? So it's basically just the acceleration multiplied by how far I am from getting there, and then adding, of course, on my minimum distance. While I'm doing it, I'm still going to follow the line. And then, of course, when I get out of this loop, what do I need to do? I need to stop moving. So now we get to see in action. Notice the gentle acceleration. No wheel stand. Now I gave it a fairly big max degrees to let it run for a fair while. And then you see it just gently slow down at the end there as well.